Hi there, I'm Jennifer Roland Cadiente. I'm the Creatives Virtual Assistant. Welcome to my YouTube channel and podcast. If this is the first time you're finding me, you can learn more about me and my background at thecreativesva.store or by just following and subscribing. So today I want to talk about why your audience isn't growing even though you're posting consistently. Um, we all are told you got to post, once a week, once a day, 3 times a day. And if you post, it's going to work. People are going to join your list. People are going to buy your products. But a lot of times you're doing it. You're showing up. You're posting regularly. You're doing the things everyone told you to do with the hooks and, the fun photos and the things that are successful on whichever social media platform you're focused on. But your audience isn't growing. And this can feel so frustrating, especially when it seems like you're doing all the things. But here's what's actually going on. So it's not just about posting consistently, it's a lot about posting consistently, but it's also about everything else that's happening behind the scenes that supports that content. So let's break down, what might be going wrong here. So first, you're posting, but there's no strategy behind it. A lot of creators are consistent, but not intentional. So you're posting content, but it's not building on a clear message. It's not leading your audience anywhere. And it's not connected to your offers, your email list, or your community. So even though you're showing up, your audience doesn't have a reason to stick around. So here's how you can fix this: a simple content strategy that connects your posts with your message and your next step, what we like to call your CTA or your call to action. And that is where support can make a huge difference, because strategy can be really hard to hold on your own when you're also creating everything, all your posts, your courses, your books, your community, your what you're teaching inside of your community. It's a lot. So the other thing that might be going on is that you're doing everything yourself. So things are falling through the cracks. It's not just, write a post and hit published. Behind every post, there's got to be planning, repurposing, scheduling, engagement, follow up. And if you're also writing the emails, running a community, hosting live calls, managing your offers, dealing with self publishing, it's a lot. So then, what happens is you start skipping things, you skip steps, you rush content, you lose consistency in the details. And it's not that you're doing it wrong, it's just that you're doing it alone. I want to dive a little bit deeper into repurposing. If you're not repurposing, then your content isn't working hard enough. If you're creating something from scratch every day, your growth will feel slow and it's going to feel absolutely exhausting. So, one strong piece of content should turn into multiple social posts, emails, community conversations, but repurposing it takes time and systems. Without that support, you're probably just moving on to the next post and leaving a lot of visibility on the table. So, for example, with this podcast and video that I'm recording today, I am going to transcribe it. So it will also be a post on my website, thecreativesva.store. I will be sending out an email link. I will be doing at least 3 social posts that take, some of the big ideas and put them out there with a link back to this video or to join my email list, depending on where I'm posting it. And that, again, if you're doing it all by yourself, that can be a lot to manage, but it's critical to, to growing. The other system that you want to think about is nurturing. So if you're audience isn't being nurtured after they find you, then they're not going to stick around. So when someone finds your content, what happens next? Do they join your email list? Are they welcomed into your community? Are they hearing from you consistently? If not, your audience might be growing, but it won't feel like it because there's no system nurturing those people into engaged followers, community members, book buyers, and clients. And this is where things like email list management and community support really matter. And finally, you may just not have the bandwidth to engage. Growth doesn't come just from posting, it comes from connection. So, replying to comments, starting conversations, supporting your community. But when your plate is already full, engagement is usually the first thing to go. And when engagement drops, so does visibility. So here's the thing, that we don't talk about most of the time. It's not that we're doing content wrong. It's that we're trying to do the full content ecosystem on our own. Content, the emails, the community, live videos, the strategy, the engagement. That can be a one-person job when you're first starting out, but that's not a one-person job forever. So here's what actually helps you grow. A clear content plan, support with the execution, the posting, the emails, the community, sometimes the replies, sometimes, commenting on other people's posts, things like that can be done by a support person. Systems that keep things consistent behind the scenes. And in the next couple episodes, I'm going to talk about how to create systems that work and that you can use to delegate. So once you're ready to not just be the one-person show, you can tell the person who you're bringing in to do the thing exactly how you want the thing done. And finally, space to focus on your zone of genius. Because your job isn't to do everything. It's to show up, share your message, the thing that makes you special, and to lead. So if this feels familiar, if you feel like you're doing all the things correctly, but they're still not leading to list growth or sales or whatever it is that you're needing, ask yourself, what part of this am I trying to manage alone that I don't actually need to? And if you're ready for support with things like email list management, social media management, running your live calls, providing community support or content strategy, that's exactly what I help my clients with behind the scenes so they can stay visible without burning out. The best place to get started is by downloading my free delegation checklist. You can find the link in the show notes, the comments, depending on where you're accessing this, or at thecreativesva.store. I can't wait to hear what you think about the things I've shared today. I feel like I've done all of these things. I've seen other people do all of these things. So if you're doing those things, you're not alone. We need to get you some help so that you can grow and take a lot of the stuff off your plate so that you can spend your time doing the things that you love and that you're good at and that are the things you really need to be the one to do. So let me know in the comments what you are experiencing, what you've done to make things work better in your creative business, and like and subscribe. See you next time.